Hello, my name is Dr. Benita Cobb, and I'm the Learning Specialist at the Bratsky Student Athlete Academic Success Center. In this video session, we will be going over Netiquette. If you're a frequent internet user, you might already know what the general idea of Netiquette is. The definition is a set of social conventions that facilitate interactions over networks, particularly the internet. The purpose of this video session is to help you be properly understood when you're on the internet, to get your points across more effectively, and to avoid annoying your classmates by doing things that you didn't know you were doing. For example, instant messaging. You'll need to choose a professional username, something that has your real name in it. Introduce yourself to the person, especially if you've never messaged the person before, and ask the person if they have time to chat before you send a really long message. And speaking of those long messages, try to keep them brief. Come to the chat prepared with what you'd like to talk about. For example, you're meeting with a professor over a chat. You want to make sure that you have your materials ready and that you present them to him or her. Have your talking points in front of you so that you don't forget what you're going to say, and make sure that you give the person time to respond. Only send one message or reply at a time, and give them a little time to text back. They may not type as fast as you, or they may need a little more processing time in their response. When it comes time to end the conversation, make sure that both parties are very clear that the conversation is ended. Thank them for their time, and in conclusion, talk about the things that you spoke about and what you're going to be doing for the rest of the class. Whatever it is, make sure that you end the conversation with the other person so that they're not sitting there waiting for a response from you. Let's talk about email. In your email, make sure that you're using a clear and concise subject line. That's going to give the reader the information they need to know what to expect when they're reading your email. If you've never corresponded with the person before, make sure that you introduce yourself and keep the message to the point. Divide your message into paragraphs and make sure that you check your spelling and grammar. Try to plan ahead and organize your thoughts, especially if it's a long email. Only forward other messages with the permission of the original sender. So if your classmate gives you their notes, don't share them with the entire class unless you have that person's permission. You don't want to offend the person by sending their notes through the entire class. Also, be careful with reply all. A large component of online classes are discussion boards. When you're on a discussion board, be concise. Use paragraphs and make sure you check your grammar and spelling. If you're quoting anything, make sure you cite your quotes with references and sources. Make sure you express your opinions, but be respectful of others. When you're responding to classmates, respond to the ideas rather than the person. For example, let's just say one of your classmates posted, "I think the sky is green, and here's why." Your response should be, "In my observations, I have seen that the sky is actually blue," rather than saying, "I disagree with your statement." This way, you're acknowledging what they had said in a polite way without being offensive. You're telling them that you've seen other observations, and try to avoid what they call flaming. Don't intentionally try to offend other classmates. Basically, keep that old rule in mind. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Some general tips. Try to avoid caps lock. It's basically perceived as you're screaming at them. Use abbreviations and slang sparingly. Be cautious when you're using humor and emoticons at the end of your statements. Remain polite and non-judgmental, and keep your text font size and color simple because not all computers are compatible and it may not translate to the other person. Do not use curse words or explicitives, and if you're upset, take a step away from the computer to cool down and reread any messages before you hit the send button. For additional resources, contact the Bratsky Student Athlete Academic Success Center. We can schedule individual appointments for life skills and general organization. There are more video resources just like the one you've watched today, and we offer private tutoring for course-specific needs. We hope to see you soon.